Overall, I'm very pleased with how Saturday went. I thought we had a great turnout from our fan base for the start of the season. And then just overall with how we played, we knew going into it, we had one team that was a little heavier offensively and then the other side a little heavier defensively, and showed a little bit on Saturday, but overall very pleased with just how balanced we looked overall.
So talk about just getting the season underway this weekend. What's been the message to you and your girls getting competition set and going?
Yeah, the biggest message that we've had this entire fall camp so far is to uphold our standard in everything that we're doing. I know right now we're really ready to play somebody else. It's been 3 weeks. It's been a longer preseason than normal. The NCAA gave us a few extra days, and so it's been long, but they're ready. We're excited. We're ready to play and see Texas Southern on Friday.
When you were here last, you did talk about the improvement that you felt like you've made defensively, and watching you while I was there on Saturday, I don't think you were blowing smoke. It's obvious that you are better. Was there anything about your defense though that you said, you know what, we're better than this. We got to do better. You had a lot of long rallies during the thing, which I think for fans, that's fun. But where do you think you still need to improve defensively as you get ready for the season?
Yeah, long rallies are fun. Sometimes they give me mild heart attacks. But overall, defensively, between 2.5 sets, we had 13 blocks, which is phenomenal. We had a lot of what we call QTs, quality touches. But there were some in there that I felt like our back row could still run down. And I think that once we get certain personnel back there, those balls are going to be very seamless to get. But I would like to see us pick up those quality touch balls a little bit better, just so that we are in system and can run our offense. But no, I was not blowing smoke when I had talked about how much better our defense has gotten just across the board. I think we were really good just from the back line defensively last year, but as a whole, both front line and back line are doing a great job just getting touches on the ball or getting blocks.
If you would, talk a little bit about your setters. You lost Sienna last year, and it was pretty obvious in watching you that was a position where you needed to get better, whether it was through experience or through newcomers. If you would, just go ahead and talk about that particular position and who's standing out to you.
Yeah, Sienna was amazing for us. As you guys know, a setter is a quarterback for the team. So they have to be, they've got to be really good. And the two that we brought in transfers in the spring, I knew that they were going to be good. I've known Nene from Hawaii for years. Her dad, he's a coach. Been knowing him for, my gosh, I don't know how many years, since Nene was a sophomore or junior in high school, and she's going into her junior year of college. So I knew what she was capable of. I knew what she could bring to the table for us. And then Riley, she's from the area that I'm from. She plays for a club that I've recruited for a long time. So I knew what they would bring to the table for us. And I will say they've exceeded expectations. I think from a leadership standpoint, they're both very different, but they both do a very good job in that role. Riley's a little bit more vocal. Nene is lead by example, but both of them can sling a ball. We talk about running a sub-1 offense, which our tempo is less than a second to either pen. And we're fast is sub-1 between 7.5 and 8.5. And we're trying to get it between 6.5 and 7.5. So we're really trying to dish balls fast to our pins. But I thought both of them did really well. I think Nene had an advantage on Saturday. She had more of the offensive arms on her side, but she ran a very seamless offense. And I know that our middles have made comments that she is very difficult to read, the way that she just holds and throws a ball around. So I am very pleased with bringing both of them in, and I think they've made a huge difference within our program.
What have you seen on film from your opponents that you're going to be welcoming in this weekend, starting with Texas Southern that you'll face first and second?
Texas Southern, I think they're athletic. I mean, they're always going to be an athletic team. I think it's something that if we do our job and do well, we shouldn't have issues. The other two opponents are a little bit more difficult. Tarleton, which is where my former assistant took the head job, they're a completely new team. I mean, they have completely new personnel from player to staff, and so that's going to be a little bit trickier, but we did just get some film on them today from Texas Tech over the weekend. And then New Orleans is a brand new team as well. Same coach, but they have a lot of new personnel, so there's not really much film on them to go off of. So Texas Southern rather will be a little bit easier just because we have film from the previous season, but the other two is going to be more of a live scout, and we build it as we watch them on Friday.
How much you talked about both Tarleton and New Orleans kind of being completely new is going to be a tricky situation. How much are you stressing to your players that like, hey, this is going to be really a game of adjustments, like micro adjustments from set to set, and even the game as a whole?
Right. We talk a lot about controlling the controllables and then making in-game adjustments. So one of the biggest things within any game is being able to make those adjustments on the fly. And we've talked about that a lot this season, just because there are going to be multiple opponents where the staff is new and then the roster is completely different. We're one of those teams. I mean, we have 11 new bodies on our team to where it is going to be hard to scout us from the start of the season because there's not much to go off of. I mean, if you know staff and personnel and just know what they do from a coaching standpoint, it makes it a little bit easier. But the name of the game with both of those teams, and really all three, is going to be adjustments.
You talk about those 11 new incomers. How do you see your lineup getting set when it comes to incorporating some of those girls, but also having your senior leadership from Kaylin and some of these other juniors that could step in and play big roles?
Yeah, we are going to rely heavy on Kaylin. We're going to rely heavy on some others that have been within this program, but we're really relying heavy on our transfers too. One of the beautiful things about our team right now is we have options. We talked about it as a staff. Some other just parents and coaches that watched Saturday was like, you guys did a really good job in the portal and recruiting because you have the depth. You can move pieces around and anything's going to work. So we're still trying to figure out what our starting six will be. We have an idea, but we were very pleased with how certain people stepped up when it was game time on Saturday that we hadn't seen in practice. So thinking that we might have a few more gamers than we do practice players, which is also nice. But I'm excited to be able to have different pieces to the puzzle to move around this year.
Yes.
And yes, Coach. You kind of talked about your defense and how you feel like that's going to be kind of your strong point for you this season. What do you guys do really well on defense that makes you think you're going to be so strong?
I think the blocking is the biggest thing for us this year. I mean, I think we're a really good blocking team last year, but we struggled. This year, we're bigger, we're more physical, we're getting hands and faces, and we're getting those blocks. And if we're not getting the blocks, we're at least getting quality touches. And then from the back row, right now, to me, Kennedy and Sophia are working very seamlessly together on that back row. I mean, Sophia didn't play a lot last year. She redshirted, but those two worked really hard together this spring, and the connection that they have, they don't let balls drop. They know where each other is going to be. They pick them up. And so I think if we're not getting the blocks at the nets, that we're getting those quality touches or digs.